Welcome to How Now, the podcast where we talk about how to live in the now. And here's your host, Kim Martin Raymond.
Peace and blessings, and welcome to this edition of the How Now podcast, where we talk about how to live in the now. I am your host, Kim Martin Raymond. I am a minister, spiritual life coach, author, and founder of Redefining You LLC, where I help my clients to realign themselves, mind, body, and spirit. And again, welcome to season 3 of the How Now podcast. We are 3 years strong. Yes! So we are here. It is 2023, and we've got so many wonderful things that are going to be transpiring this year as we talk about living in the now. So make sure that you go to www.hownowpodcast.com, pick your favorite podcast platform, and then follow, share, and subscribe, and make sure that you follow along to find out what's happening in the now. You can also go to the bottom of the page, click on the banner, and it will take you to the How Now YouTube channel, where you can click, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff, and make sure that you follow along so you know, again, what's happening in the now. And that's www.hownowpodcast.com. So let's get into this evening's show. We're going to be talking about we got this, mind and body. It's a new year. Everybody at the beginning of every year starts talking about some things that they're doing. But as this pandemic has started a couple of years ago, there have been a lot of pivots that we've had to make, not just physically, but mentally as well. So with a lot of the resolutions that some people make, I'm not a big resolution person, and a lot of people are starting to shy away from some of that, but they're looking at ways that they can pivot, things that they can do to be a better version of themselves. So we want to talk about having this and doing something different to start working on that path towards wellness of mind and body. But before we get into that, as is customary with the How Now podcast, I'm going to have my guest to introduce herself, and we're going to get into tonight's topic.
Hello. My name is Camille Jones, and I am so excited to be here with you all today. I am the founder of We Got This Mind and Body, and I'm all about teaching that busy woman in business to truly learn to prioritize living a healthy lifestyle without excessive workouts or, those fad diets. And it's all through nourishing your mind, body, and soul with my proven 4M of healthy living program. And that's all about the mindset, movement, metabolism, as well as maintenance. I am a certified personal trainer, certified holistic weight loss nutritionist, as well as transformational coach and nutritionist. And I'm all about truly loving the skin that you are in every season of life. We need to truly celebrate where our body's been able to get to us and truly want to love into it through understanding that wellness is greater than just your physical. It's greater than just the aesthetics. It truly starts in your mindset and having a deeper love and a deeper foundation for that inner me, that inner you. And through my program, we truly hound down that mindset. We align that clarity with exactly the things that you desire. And it's all about creating it. So it's not just a moment. It's not just a season. It's not just a resolution. It is actually a lifestyle. So it's all about regaining back that time, energy, and of course, that confidence, the confidence that all of us boss ladies already have within us.
That's right. Also, it is so great to have you with us. Before we even get started, go through those 4 M's again, because I'm gonna make sure you have your pad and pencil ready.
Get your pad and pencil. Absolutely.
That's it. So those 4 M's again.
Yes, the 4 M's is your mindset. Before we can even get to the second M, which is movement, we need to know what your clear, definitive purpose is. What is it? Do you want to have more energy at the end of the day to play with your children? Do you want to be able to have longer walks with your friends without running out of breath? Or how about just having that time of living in the now without having all the stresses of the world of what we women have to really deal with? We're nurturers by nature, mother, that's why it's called Mother Nature. Right. But there's so many times that we are putting our wellness to the side, not purposely, not intentionally, But because by nature, we are constantly taking care of others as well as taking care of our building our careers, because
Right.
we fought many years to get to where we are as women. So we don't take our careers and what we do for ourselves professionally lightly.
That's right.
But while we're building up ourselves, creating relationships with others, we sometimes lose a relationship with ourselves.
Mhm.
And what I really realized, especially during this pandemic, if there's one thing this pandemic taught all of us,
Yes.
was the power of understanding yourself, the
Yeah.
power of the pause, the power of the now, the power of even your environment, and showing yourself that even though you may not be in control of the external environment around you, when you understand that the number one control you have is your thoughts, and you create that by observing your own thoughts and taking action on things that you know are within you, you truly see that the greatest peace and love was always with us. So we really need to fully understand that wellness is greater than just that aesthetics, that external. And that's what I do here at We Got This. That's why I always say it's not about you, it's not about me. It truly is about we. We align those mindset. We make sure that the movements that are working, so number two, the movements are aligned with your fitness level.
Yeah.
Because so many people will start a fitness program here, and then they may be able to get through class 1, but by class 2, class 3, they're feeling like the Tin Woman, and they're just like, you know what, forget about it.
Right. Right.
Or they go to the gym and not understand what's going on and end up just walking around looking, people
Yeah.
watching.
Yes.
And it's no fault of theirs. They have the best interest to do what they need to do for their body.
Yes.
But without the proper direction, the clear, definitive purpose of actually why you're here, other than the fact it's the New Year's,
Right.
and also having that guidance. And this is another part. It was number 3, which is the metabolism. We need to know that you cannot outwork a bad diet. But
Right.
in saying that, I don't believe in diets because I'm a woman that gets hangry. I need to still eat. I get hangry.
Right.
So
Right.
and I'm West Indian. We love our food
Yeah.
and flavor, right? I'm not saying
Right.
that you have to live on kale chips for the rest of your life.
Right.
It's all about truly understanding what the food does in your body, having a better understanding of, mindful eating, whole food, loving the food. You eat whole, good, rich food, your digestion's going well. As women, and especially as we're going on the latter parts of our life, over 40, our hormones have a huge factor in our weight. And a lot of us, we penalize ourselves, like, how dare us women penalize ourselves
Right.
for, why? When I was 20, I didn't have this, blah, blah. Whether we had children or not,
Right.
the one thing that happens with us is hormones.
Yes.
And we need to understand how those hormones align with our metabolism, with our stress levels, as well as any other medications we may be on, could be causing that inflammation. So it's not really exactly you. It could be a root cause. So
Right.
that's where we really truly understand what metabolism is in terms of your hormones, your digestion, us as a woman. And of course, we want to make sure things taste great because it's about a lifestyle. We're not cutting out any macros. And then the final one is maintenance. And the maintenance is that sustainability so that you can have lasting relationships. Results. It's just like what Bob Proctor said, change your paradigm, change your life. So what we're doing in this program overall, the all in all goal of the 4M of Healthy Living program is to change your habits. Once you change a habit that no longer serves you any purpose, when it becomes a part of your subconscious, a part of your lifestyle, it comes naturally to you. It doesn't become a chore. You get excited. When you're looking past the mirror, the confidence, the Lizzo confidence comes into play. Hello.
That's right.
Right? And that's what us women want. We just need that confidence and to know that we do have the time. We do have the time for ourselves. And we need to do it unapologetically. And know that when we gain that time, we'll build up that energy and be better versions for other people. So we need to stop neglecting ourselves. Put the same amount of effort we put into our businesses, into our education. We also need to put into our personal development. So that's what I do. You know, I could go on and on and on because
Yes.
I see the greatness in us all. And I'm so
Yeah.
excited that I have the opportunity to
Mhm.
use my superpower, which is my voice and
That's
my
it.
passion and my understanding to pay it forward to the next amazing women in business. And I say
Mhm.
women in business because we are some boss ladies that are
Oh, yeah.
constantly in motion. We got things going on everywhere and we're doing it with style and grace. And yes, we
Absolutely.
still live into ourselves, but I want us to get that deeper
Yeah.
love, that
Yeah.
true love, that Disney love, you know?
Okay. I love that you said, honey, just like you said, like the name of your business. We got this.
We
We
got this,
got
girl. We
this.
do.
I absolutely, absolutely love, and we'll go through because, like I said, you just said you've given so many beautiful, wonderful nuggets. And I'm just like yum 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 yum. Yum. So I want to make sure that we definitely peel those things back because we want to, we want to talk about the importance of that. I love that you say it's about mindset because that's where it all begins.
That's
We
right.
always talk about that why. Why is it that we're doing something? We have to be purposeful and intentional
right.
about the things that we're doing. Why is it that we're doing this? Are we just doing this because it's a fad? And those are the things that are not sustainable. Those are the things that are not long lasting. Those things that we just do because we see everybody else doing it.
Exactly.
We don't want to be sheeple. We're just
That's
following
it.
everyone else. Or if I just
That's
start
right.
clapping, all of a sudden everybody just starts clapping. Or if I start
Yeah.
running, everybody just starts
Running,
running.
everyone's running. Yes.
What are we running from? We don't even know what we're
We don't
running
even
from.
know.
We have to be intentional
yeah.
and purposeful, and we have to be childlike sometimes in our thinking and ask
Yeah.
that question, why? That is
Yeah.
something that children ask all the time. Why? Why?
Yeah.
Why is it? Why? That's all they want to know. Why?
Mhm. Yeah.
And we have to be in that same, you have that same
The
mentality.
same thing. And you know what happens is the reason why a lot of us don't have that definitive purpose, Kim, or that deeper why is not because we are lost in the sauce. It's because if you even think about when children are asking why,
Right.
how many times do we even say, okay, enough now, stop with the questions, stop with the why. I already told you this is the why, that's it. So what happens is as children, we have already been challenged. Our critical thinking has been challenged,
Yes.
where even our feelings, our emotions, our perceptions, from the time that we're born, we're told what language we're going to speak,
Right.
what religion we may have to follow, the culture that we have to abide by. So the same thing goes with our why, because it gets miscued with what the norm or the sheeple is happening around us. That distraction is what it is. It really does happen. And then a lot of us too, believe it is as powerful as we are in what we do in our business.
Yes.
We tend to lose our voice in the advocacy of our own selves and our wellness. And this is where I really saw not even a gap. It's like a life like duty, a life duty of mine to pay it forward and make those imprints. I love women. And when I say I love women, I love them in a greater essence than, anything else, right? It's the essence of the woman, what we've been able to come through, do it together. And the biggest thing that I've learned is when we work together, when we have that accountability, we can regain our deeper why than just our children, our deeper why than just to have a home or to have things. The deeper why becomes that guidance and that love that is within all of our amazing S on our chests.
Yes.
And what I really want to regain and what is built out of even my own wellness journey is the power of the voice. And that's another thing that I really am teaching women. So I have an acronym for the voice. And this also winds down to wellness. So when we are able to speak up, wonders happen. The universe is listening. Your energy is ignited. That spirit within is enlightened. But a lot of times us women have been silenced, whether it be in our careers, whether it be when we get married, or even when we talk about wellness, because when we talk about wellness as women, all of a sudden we're being vain, or we're not appreciative of our bodies, or we're trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Right.
When in actuality, all we really want is to have a deeper self-love and self-care for the evolving changes of our body, and know that it is it's beauty in itself, that we do not have to be compared. And on top of that, the body is just, the body keeps a score. What really matters more so is the mindset of a woman.
Yes.
Like, for instance, I'll give an example. We have a play here in Toronto called A Kink in My Hair. And it's all about in a Black woman's salon, how the hairdresser hears so many stories. There's so many
Yeah.
stories in a Black woman's hair. And, you know, when she sits there, you know, all of the trials and tribulations, that even though they look like aesthetics with their hair all done, they look like they got it together. But
Wow.
when they sit in that chair, they get into their inner self, that inner child, and they're really able to exhale, and really to take down those blocks and barricades of what that aesthetics is looking like. And when we're able to find our voice, we're
Yeah.
able to really discover and accept and release the trauma in the past. We can
Absolutely.
stop fearing the unknown of the future and start taking the present as the gift that it is. But it
Yeah.
starts with how we feel on the inside and
Absolutely.
our voice. Voice stands for me, visualization, observation, intention, courage, and as well as emancipation. So you need to visualize it. Visualize that you've already achieved everything that you desire in your wellness, in your business, in everything that you want. You have achieved it like as if it has happened now,
Right.
right now, right? It's already here. We already have all the keys. It's here. The O for observation is we need to be the observers of our own thoughts. So if you know anything about the power of the now, it's all about not allowing your thought to control you, but for you to be the observer of your own thoughts so that you can control the thoughts that in turn will cause the action and reaction that you do in this physical world. Right. So you want to be the observer of your own thoughts. Then I is intentional. When we start living a life with intention, that's when we become more clear on our vision, more clear on where we want to be in our surroundings without feeling that loss of FOMO. If it doesn't serve you, if it doesn't align you, you're intentional with what you do, and you could remove with style and grace.
Right.
The C is all about having the courage. I say courage and confidence. I like both of them, so I'm going to keep both. The courage to stand up, speak up, and show up for yourself wholeheartedly, with the confidence to know that your voice matters, because nobody in this entire world could be you except you. So there's no competition. Right off the bat, how can I compete with you, Kim? I'm not thinking what you're thinking. I've not had your experiences. So I don't have your imagination. So we can't compete. Coke, just like Pepsi, there's no competition. It's one or the other, right? And then the last one is E, which is emancipate. Just like what Bob Marley says, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. That's his song from Redemption Song. If you listen to the word, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. When you can remove all of the lies that have been told to you, all of the broken promises, all of the failure, all of the trauma, all of that mental blockage that is constantly going on in your mind, you are emancipating yourself to be able to be that free speaker, that free being in this formed world, right? So that is what my whole we got this, and the foundation of wellness truly comes from having a deeper understanding of yourself through gratitude, through affirmations, and knowing that when you accept and release all of the feelings that you have that no longer service you, and work through consistency and repetition to build on ones that are going to work in your now, that is all about your now, we won't fear the future. We're going to be excited to continuously work into ourselves. And we will say to our husband, children, friends, even a work function, if this doesn't align with me today, not today, honey. It's all about me. And you do it with a smile. And I love you too, but I love me more.
That's right.
Right?
That's right. I absolutely love. I love this. I absolutely love this, because that's what it is. It is about the voice. You know, and we're teaching our young children that as well. We're teaching them, because sometimes we get to a place where we become enablers. And we're trying to do so much for others, or even as nurturers. And we're learning that, for those who are in education, and I have an education background as well, even with our younger children, our teachers, they want to coddle the children, or, instead of giving them a voice. And it is so important to give them a voice.
That's it.
From that young an age. Tell them to tell that child that I don't like it when you do X, Y, and Z. Give them the vocabulary so that they can begin to articulate the things that they are feeling, and do those, so that when you're not there to protect them, they know what to say and what to do.
That's
so
it.
It's so important.
That's
the voice.
Yeah. And it sounds so simple, but so many of us have been silenced all throughout
Right.
our lives,
That's
whether
right.
it be again from our culture, our gender,
That's right.
or just it's just not, or the unknown. And it's like a book that I read, which I highly recommend. I actually recommend it on Audible because you get the full foundation of it.
Uh-huh.
And it's from Napoleon Hill, and it's called Outwitting the Devil. It is powerful. And it truly, truly, truly shows a different side of how when we are in control of our own thoughts, that's only 2% of society. When we have full control over our thoughts, our imagination is heightened, our creativity, our intuition. These are vibrations within our bodies and
Yeah.
frequencies that only humans have in this world, is those intuition, creativity, imagination. But
Yeah.
when we have that constant negativity of people telling us no, or what ifs, or stop, or putting religion or politicians or anything, or even social media, like
Yeah.
right now, look what they're doing with social media. We're telling the kids that they need a voice, but social media is saying that we can abbreviate it and we can send out emojis, right? So we're already cutting
Right.
down their vocabulary
Right.
already. So
And reverting people to texting all the time instead of
exactly,
using their words.
exactly. So that book, Outwitting the Devil, shows how there's a plan behind everything. But when you it's not about fighting it. You can't,
Yes.
it's not about fighting the things you cannot control. It is about observing your own reactions.
Yes.
And I tried it out the other day. I tried it out with my husband, right? With the power of the now. Because
Uh-huh.
the ego always wants to be right, especially in relationships.
That's right. That's right.
So I was like, you know what? The ego says that I'm always right. How about I just send them off with love and say, I understand,
Yes.
instead of fighting it. And you
Yes.
know what? That feeling came from me to fight it, but I acknowledged it this time. I was like, oh, Camille, this feeling that I want to rebuttal with him, how is that serving you in the now? How is that helping you now? Is it paying your bills?
Right.
Is it going to make your husband and you cuddle?
Right.
Is it going to just irate you, heighten your anxiety? Do
Right.
you want that feeling, Camille? And these are all of me
Yes.
as the observer, and
Yes.
I'm accepting that feeling.
Yes.
And I was like, you know what? I said, I didn't bow out. I was just having a nice conversation. I said, I understand.
Yeah.
It's okay. Got it.
And
And you know
there's
what?
no
All
one
of a
else
sudden, now
can
he's,
do that.
he's like, honey. Now I'm like,
Right.
so
Right.
I was just trying it.
Yeah.
Even with my children are always like, mommy, mommy, mommy. We're always saying that the kids get in the way. The kids get in the way. I'll tell you something. The kids get in the way because we allow it, because we're talking to them. We're
Right.
doing it. But if we just allow them to figure it out themselves,
Yes.
like my son the other day was like, can you help me with my shirt? Can you help me with my shirt? But I was doing a live, and I was telling him, I just said, like this. I was just like this. And within
Uh-huh.
2 minutes, the shirt was on.
Right. 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 But it's amazing because the thing is that we get to a place where, especially as women, we are so defined by the roles that we play. Just like you said, you lose yourself.
Yeah.
You lose yourself because, we had
Absolutely.
dreams and aspirations and things that we wanted to do when we were little girls. And then when we had our children, everything changed. Or when we
Everything
got
changed.
married, everything changed.
Yeah.
Then we became that role. I wanted to be a teacher, but now I'm a mom, and now I'm a wife, and now so
those labels.
You begin to
Yeah.
take on those many hats. You begin to take on those many roles, and you lose yourself in that process. And so you said, it's a matter of, like you said, first the mindset.
Yeah.
Getting a grip on okay, where am I at?
Yeah.
And where is it that I want to go? I equate it to your navigation system. You put something in there. What is your destination?
That's right.
If you're going someplace new, you don't just get in the car and drive. You put the coordinates and say, okay, I want to get here. If I say I want to go to such and such a store, I'm going to put that in my GPS, and it's going to take me to that store, hopefully.
Exactly.
I don't just get in the car and say, boy,
that's exactly what I call accountability coach. Yeah, I call accountability coach like GPS.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So you're not just going around cycling or recalculating and just driving around in circles. You've got to have a destination or have some type of idea of the direction that you want to go in. Just like you said, that guidance. And then that's where that movement comes in too, because that movement is not just a physical movement, it's a psychological movement too, because we can get into that space of analysis paralysis too, where we're overthinking, and we're overthinking something so much that all of a sudden now we can't move.
That's right. And the thing is too, with the clarity, also gives us more confidence in the
Yeah.
movement part, because a lot
Yeah.
of people get very intimidated, especially if they haven't moved their body in forever. And this is another thing that gets me excited about what I do, because I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I'm not a vegan. I'm not a vegetarian. I'm not an ex-athlete. I haven't been in the industry for 15, 30, 40 years. I am that woman that is starting in her late 30s, early 40s on her journey of wellness. So I am proving to other women who may not be ex-athletes, who may not be, you know, all these vegans, all stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with vegan or non-vegan. I'm just saying, you know, I don't come from that long-term lifestyle, but I've been able to create and cultivate and develop a lifestyle of wellness, even at my age, even without having to be an ex-athlete. And the reason why I say I was saying ex-athlete and stuff is I've tried in the past many a times, you know, especially during the pandemic and even before, like because I've always been active to do online workouts. So I was doing some, but these girls, you know, they're fantastic, but they're 22 years old and they're going, and I'm going. And girlfriend, by day two, my things just in certain places were not feeling the same. And I did the energy, and they were just still spunky. And I'm like, I love that, but I'm going to sit down. And because I didn't have the accountability, I just sat down and ate my popcorn and watched them. And I'd be like, woo, 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 on my own video. So then I was like, okay, let me get somebody that's, you know, a little bit older. I was ultra intimidated by them because they already had everything down packed for the last 15 years. You know, they're doing this. They can do a push up on one finger, you know, because they've cultivated their life to this. They dedicated their life. So it made me feel like I couldn't keep up, or I wasn't. And, you know, it's just that inner feeling. There was just no connection. And then that's again where I said, I need to start showing other women through myself, through my story, and even through my mental health is another reason I got into it. Because a lot of people don't realize that all of our sickness in our mindset starts in our stomach. That's the stomach is the second gut. Yeah. That's where a lot of our emotions sits. And that's why you'll see like a woman will have that larger stomach more so because a lot of our emotions, a lot of our hormones,
cortisol,
in our stomach. So it's just, again, I could go on and on. I know, and I know. So I'm going to pass it to you, Kim, because this is such a great conversation.
It is, but it's a necessary.
That's right.
It's a necessary conversation because these are things that we don't always think through. Sometimes when we begin a journey, especially like a wellness journey, and even if it's the physical one, we set out to do things, and then what happens is if we become successful, we almost self-sabotage because what we tend to do is we're so excited, and then when we get there, we're like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Why don't you believe it? And I mean, and I'm speaking from personal experience too, because like I tell people know I started my wellness journey. I've lost 64 pounds. But the thing is that, you know, when you get there, you're like, oh my goodness, you know, I can't believe I lost 64 pounds. Yeah. Why not? I got up every morning at 5:30 and I exercised and I ate right and I drank my water and I did the things that I was supposed to do. So why am I surprised?
You want to know why you're surprised? Exactly what I was talking to you about before. And this is the reason why I'm just using you as the example, but a lot of us are like that, you know, especially when we succeed. It's like, what am I even worthy of it? And exactly what I said to you earlier, before we came on, is that a lot of us are so stuck on the outcome that we don't even know during the journey what happened. So then questioning when we get to that end result, like what just happened there. But this is why even in that book, The Atomic Habits, it talks about celebrating 1% better every single day. And I always tell people there's progress in the process. So you need to celebrate your journey. You need to experience every time. So if there's a week where when you said to yourself, you're going to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to do that or do this, and you did it.
That's right.
That's right. And that's what the power of, I always have them with me, the journal. Journaling, I have a bunch of journals and I have different ones, different things that I journal actually every day too as well. Because when you journal, I have them too. That's right. Because there you go. Because when you journal, and you know what? And it's great for the brain. And you know, there's power in the pen. And when we start really celebrating our journey, even through our writings, when we get to that outcome, what's going to happen is it's going to get us excited to go even further. And that's the thing is, it's like that saying that Sophia Bush says, You could be a masterpiece and a work in progress simultaneously.
Oh, yes.
That is what we need to be during our entire life. We
That's right.
constantly need to be a work in progress, because that is momentum, and that's what keeps the life within our physical body as the
Yes.
spirit lives on. If we've
Yes.
already achieved it, if we've already gotten here and we're saying that's it, you know what? Look at a lot of these rich people. Look at
Right.
all these people that we are looked at, seen as successful. They're,
That's right.
you know, God rest their souls, committing suicides, overdosing.
That's
You
right.
know, they're having, you know, adultery. They're coming out of their homes.
Right.
And that's why I say to people, we're always so caught up on the monetary. I love money. I desire money. Yes, I do, because of what money allows me to do in my life.
Right.
But I live for me first.
That's right.
Right? Instead of running and keeping up and getting to those, because that's the thing is, and that goes even with our wellness. When we were talking about our wellness and saying, I live for me first,
Yes.
I do my wellness journey because I'm looking at the journey of my body. I've been able to get through anorexia. I've been depressed. I've had anxiety. My body has given birth to 3 strong, healthy babies.
Yeah.
I've lost my period. I was told I was never going to have children. I have a hair complex that I was always so shaded for, that really was something that was more mental than it was actually physical. Right. And until I hounded and really got a true, deeper understanding of who Camille Jones was through meditation, through journaling, through doing the work and having taking action. And yes, I have a mentor. I still have a mentor.
Absolutely.
Right. Yes.
Coaches need coaches. We
Exactly.
need coaches. Yeah.
And that's what we need to like stop short your wellness.
That's
right.
right.
It was like, how much does it cost? Or if it's, I was like, oh, well, I could get that on YouTube for free, or I could get that for $10 a month. And I say, yeah, but why are you in the could state then?
Right.
You still, if you could, why are you not doing it? Because
Right.
you have the accountability aside it. You don't have the clarity behind it. You don't have that true motivator to say, get up off your butt. And most of the time you'll keep that on your credit card for 2-3 years and end up spending more than you would have if you did it right out the gate.
Exactly.
Right. So
exactly.
I always tell people, stop shortchanging yourself, because you are your biggest investment, but even greater reward. Your reward is priceless, and your presence is what we need in the now. And we need you at optimal state, because we're not going to have you again. And who knows, we're not thinking about the future. The past has already happened. Kim, I already spoke to you 20 minutes ago. We're not getting back that 20 minutes. It's in the past.
That's right. You're
Right?
absolutely right. Yeah, it's amazing because, like I said, this goes right to the other end. It's not just a physical metabolism; it is a mental metabolism either. I mean, it's a mental metabolism as well. In addition,
yes.
I mean, the whole thing.
But now we have to remember, this is the brain. I mean, this brain is a muscle. We got to work it out.
That's right. You learn from your womb to your tomb. Every day there's something to learn. It's today, you're today years old. You hear that on social media all the time. I was today years old when I learned this, and I was today years old when I learned that. That's because there are so many opportunities and so many. This is information age. There are so many things out there for us to learn. There's no reason why we don't exercise that muscle that's our brain, and make sure that we metabolize that as well. We don't want to sit there, like I said, and have it be in a state of paralysis, or we're just doing mindless things. It's okay sometimes to sit and go through TikTok or do other little things, or find other sometimes things to do that may not be
are not productive in your own self. But that's I know I'm going a little off topic here, but this is just a revelation that I hope a lot of us humans are seeing right now. Is that the distraction or the resistance that we're feeling inside is the distractions that we're constantly being inundated with and fed with. All the noise that we're getting from is social media. It's a lot of things life has become a lot easier. We have microwaves. We don't have to wait until TGIF to know what happened on Family Matters. We just Netflix it all and binge it one day.
That's right.
That is all of this fast life and fast
microwave society.
We don't even have to use our brain anymore. When I was in school, when we did math, we were not allowed to count on our fingers or use calculators. Now my kids' schools are encouraging them to bring their iPads, laptops, counting on fingers. And it's like they're trying to, if you don't use it, you lose it.
That's right.
And that's why we as leaders in this society, we uplift ourselves through our own wellness so that we could still teach these children. We cannot change the environment that they're growing. or the era that they're growing. We can't. We
Right.
can't bring it back. You know, every era is generation is different. We can't give it back. But we can train ourselves and our next generation to have a deeper understanding and foundation of their own feelings when they're in
Yeah.
circumstances, situations, hear things, and still want to learn without feeling like as if it's not possible.
Right.
We build back that possibility, and we need to be able to. The best way that we could do that is by being an example. And we need
Absolutely.
within ourselves.
Absolutely.
If we say, I feel sorry for the kids. If you feel sorry for the kids, what are you doing for you today?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. To set the example, you know,
Exactly.
and that slides us right into that last point or your last M, which is maintenance.
That's right.
It's about maintenance, because it's not just a matter of, you know, sometimes you get there, you know, and we're running, or we have this fitness goal, and then all of a sudden we get there and then we don't maintain it.
That's right.
Because it's like it becomes like a thing on the checklist. We check it off at that check.
And then
Okay,
it's
I
done.
did it, and then we but there. What's
No,
gain
but
from it?
that's my biggest.
What do you do tomorrow? Okay, so
Yeah.
I made it to 175 pounds. Woohoo! Okay, so then what
But-
happens tomorrow?
Yeah.
Do am I gonna go down to 170, or next week am I going down to 174 pounds, or I'm gonna go back up to 176? What's the game plan if this is where I wanted to land?
That's
What am I
right.
doing to maintain that? Or if I've gotten to this certain level, you know, of knowledge, do I want to learn more? Do I want to take the next step? You know, okay, I got an associate's degree. Do I want to go to the bachelor's? Do I want to go to the master's? Do I want to go to the PhD? What do I want to do? But if you want to maintain, what are you doing to maintain that? If you're in a good spiritual space and you're saying, oh, I want to, you know, I want to read the Bible in 365 days, and you read the Bible in 365 days, what are you going to do on day 366? Did you think about that? What are you going to do?
I
And
always say that.
sometimes we forget, or we don't know what to do. Or just like when I got to the end of my wellness journey or got to my goal weight, now all of a sudden I'm looking at all these clothes that don't fit. Did I think about the fact that there's a little financial thing that's going to go on, that I can't put a belt on everything, that I'm going to have to replace some of these clothes?
Yeah.
My feet shrunk. I had to replace some of my shoes. Did
Yeah.
I think about that?
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't think about the end because we're so busy trying to get there, or thinking that we're not going to get there, that we don't anticipate what happens when we do get there.
Yeah.
What do we do? How do we maintain?
And that's and you know, I love, that's why I use my last M as maintain, is because especially in the wellness, it grinds my gears when I hear lose 30 pounds in 30 days, because I always say, what happens on day 40 or day 50, right? Because your mindset is so focused on that 30 days that you forgot about everything else that's going on thereafter. But also the maintenance, and the reason why the maintenance is last is because the maintenance is derived and created and cultivated through the development of your mindset, that clarity. Now you're not going to have a 365 day. What you're going to do is, when a 365 day happens, you're going to do it again. Start at day one. And you're going to do it again. And that's what even what Bob Proctor talks about with the change your paradigm, change your life. How you do that is through repetition, through consistency. I always say, think about this. You know, your children, you'll tell your son, you'll say, son, put your jacket in the right-hand corner. He'll do it. And then tomorrow, son, you're saying it to him all the times. Like, you're constantly repetitively telling him, like, why doesn't he not get it? Like, I tell him and he's not doing it. One day, 6 months, it could be even 6 months later, the jacket is in the corner. I didn't have to ask. They subliminally start to do it. That's the same way that we need to look at our wellness, is that once we create it into our lifestyle, there's no date. There's no end date. That's why I said you're always going to be a work in progress. There's no end. So even when you lost that 75 pounds, that actually was your start date. That wasn't your end date. Because this is a start date to a whole new journey that you are going to experience. Because if you've already went, like, let's say you started with that mindset saying that when I get to that weight, that is when I'm going to start. And if you thought about that when we were already developing that mindset, you would have already been in preparation for, okay, well, what does this 175-pound woman wear? What does a 7,500 pound, 7,500, 75, excuse
75,
175. Oh my goodness, that's a lot. What does a 175 woman eat? What does she do? All these things. One of the activities I do with my clients is that it's called Dear Future Self. And what it is all about is really hounding into your lifestyle in your future stance. And that now eradicates that whole end date.
Right.
Because it's becoming a part of your lifestyle. You know all about, you're already prepping yourself. You're seeing these as part of your affirmations every day. I am a woman that does this. I am.
That's
And it's going to be a part of you so much that, again, there's no end date. You see the now, he's like, okay, now I'm off to the races. That 175 pounds that I wrote about is here and there. And I said, I'm going to do this. And this is how I'm going to be at 175. Kim, let's go. We got this, man. We got this.
Got this.
Right. So that's what the whole thing about the maintenance is. And that's why it falls at the end, because the maintenance is all through repetition. And as well as, obviously, I always have what I call a continuum program where we could continue the program, but obviously it's drastically reduced for just that maintenance, because, healthy living is a lifestyle. It's nothing that until you've met your creator. You're constantly in motion. That spirit chose your physical body because that spirit loves you. That spirit wants to live with you. That spirit wants to have experiences. So we need to stop robbing our spirit of the joyous, most enlightened life that we can have through, past traumas, or thinking that we are not able or capable. And most importantly, by not doing a darn thing. I don't want to hear why me, and you haven't done anything.
Right.
I always say, think about if you had done 1% better every single day starting today, you would have got just do the math, 365% better.
That's right.
You're winning. You're ultra winning. You're 3Xing yourself.
That's it. It's not why me, it's why not.
Yeah. So you are in control of your own life. Nobody else controls it. Even what happens with, and I say this, I know this people that said, oh, Camille, but you know what? You've never, God forbid, went through cancer. You've never been molested. You never had all these traumas. And I say, you know what? I am so deepened for you that these have happened to you. And if ever I could have ever taken away that from you, I would, but that's a part of you. And I want you to accept that you have made it through that time, because remember those times when you thought that you weren't going to make it. There were those horrible times that I wish that never happened to you happened. But guess what? You're here today. Which means you made it, which means that you are worth it. You are worth it. Don't ever allow anybody's trauma that they put on you or anything block your shine. You could take that trauma and you can elevate it, pay it forward to other people through the development of yourself, or even programs. Just change it around and don't hold back onto it, because the past is the past. Pain attracts pain. And there's nothing that you could do right in the now that's going to change anything that's happened in the past. And we need to stop fearing, because the thing is, when we hold on to the past, we truly start fearing the future, because the past, your conscious is going to be like, Kim, remember when you were this and this and this happened, when that happened, when this happened. So maybe if you do it now, what's going to happen if? See, so you're getting a double whammy of pain, double whammy of talking. And once you become that observer in the now, in the motion, in the meditation, through the wellness, you're able to be the observer, sit back and listen to these two and say, shut up.
Right.
Be quiet.
Right.
I don't even have to question the past, because it's happened in the past. The future, I'm excited for you. Watch me now. Right.
That's right. I love it. I love it. That's what it is. It's like I said, it's a process. Yes. It is a lifestyle. It is something that is going to be continuous. Like you said, there is no end date.
Yes.
Okay. The end date is when you meet your maker. Is when you otherwise, it's fluid.
Exactly. It's momentum, it's motion. And I'm just going to leave you with this last part here. And the reason why, Kim, I'm talking to us busy women in business, us mompreneurs, us grandmapreneurs, is because, just as you said earlier on, our lives do change. No matter you cut the apple, it's an apple. Our lives do change when we do have children. Our lives do change when we get married, greater than a man's. Our lives change even when we get a career.
Yes.
Right. The expectations of this world is very different than it is for a man, for a woman. And then on top of that, to add to the sauce, they're saying to us women who already wear all these hats, we need to be independent. We're all my independent ladies. Right. Throw your hands up at me. It's great and all, but that's an extra stress. Right. So now I have to be all this and independent. And then you want me to take care of myself? Well, you know what? Your true independence comes through taking care of yourself. That's is independent.
That's right.
Independent is not saying, you know what? I don't need money. I don't need all this stuff. No, no, no. It's not that you don't need money, but money is desired because it gives you the lifestyle that is
Right.
beautiful, right?
Right.
In this capital world. But
Right.
what understanding what true independence comes is the freedom of your mind. Free your mind. That's why Tim says free your mind. If you really listen to some of these songs, it's
Yes.
all when in vogue. Free your mind.
Yes.
And the rest will follow,
That's
right?
right.
Be
That's right.
colorblind.
Right.
Don't be so shallow because of the fact that, remember, everything that's around us has been labeled by man,
Oh, yes.
right? So let's be the woman to our own story, to our own lives, and let's label and live it in our own free minds. So I just want to leave that because I can go on and on, girl.
Yes, but that's a beautiful place to leave it at. So, like I said, just to recap, we want to talk about those 4 M's: mindset, movement, metabolism, and maintenance.
That's right.
And again, she talked about having the power of the voice. Okay, and the voice stood for visualization, observation, being intentional, courage and confidence, and emancipation. Okay, so those are just some things. In case you wanted to write those things down, I want to make sure that we recap those for you. But it's beautiful when we can take all of those things and say, oh, we've got this. And that is not just about the body or just about the mind. It's about the mind and the body. It's about creating that sense of homeostasis throughout our entire being. And that's just going to put us in that place of elevating ourselves to that best version of ourselves. So like I said, thank you so much, John, for being here and talking about the importance of that. Because we got this. Just like you said, we got this.
You got this. Okay. We got this. Now let's go.
Let's do this. Okay. New year, new you. You hear that? I mean, but it doesn't start just in the new year. It starts today. It starts right now.
Now.
We don't have to wait. You don't have to wait till Monday. You don't have to wait. Oh, let me wait till Friday. Or let me wait till the weekend's over. You start now.
That's right.
You're taking small steps to start now. And if you start now, like you said, 1% Better, The Atomic Habit, an excellent book. Yes. Excellent book. So you want to make sure that you're tapping in to the power that lies within you.
That's right.
And it starts one small step at a time. Okay. Now, before we wrap things up, one thing that I always ask my guests before we end each show is, what is something that you are doing in the now to help you to navigate in the space that we're in?
What I'm doing right now in the now is exactly what I'm doing with you, is using my voice, to express my passion, to express all of my glory, and of course to express the love and gratitude that I have within my now. And that's what I'm doing right in the now, is using this voice.
Using that beautiful
elevate,
voice.
Celebrate, and motivate. That's right.
Yes. Okay, and lastly, like I said, I want to ask how people can get in contact with you and learn more about your programming.
Yes, awesome. So you can definitely contact with me at www.wegotThisMindandBody.com, and you could book your discovery call, as well as on my Instagram, which is the same as We Got This Mind and Body. And of course, connect with me on LinkedIn, because I run rooms every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's all about the wellness for the busy women, as well as women's Let's Talk About a Corner. And it's all about giving both the women the wellness as well as the voice on our LinkedIn platform. But most importantly, I would love for you all to connect with me so that we can start you on your 4M of Healthy Living program. And now is the best time to get started. And one last part is, if you are just ready to get your body moving, definitely connect with me on LinkedIn, because every Wednesdays is Wellness Wednesday, where I will also have workouts at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, as well as my newsletter. But the key is to connect with me to get started, get going. You got this. We got this. Now let's go.
All right. You heard it right here. She said, we got this. Let's go. Okay. So make sure that you reach out to Camille and find out what's going on in her now. And, again, we thank you so much for coming. And know that you are now part of the How Now family. You're always welcome back, because what's happening today may not be what's happening tomorrow in your business and in your life. And we'd love to stay connected and find out what's happening always with you. So again, welcome to the
Awesome.
How Now family. We thank you so much for being here and for being a part of it. And that will do it for this edition of the How Now podcast, where we talk about how to live in the now. Again, darling, we thank you. We love you. We appreciate you.
Yes.
And until we see you all the next time, I say peace.
Peace.